Hello everyone, Pandora here, and I got another Fallout 76 guide for you. Today, we're going to be getting magazines and bobbleheads. I'm going to focus on the forest region today, because there is a lot, and I haven't even got them all, so I'll be coming up with a forest part 2 as well. But, the spots are guaranteed where I show you. This is where they will spawn all the time. It won't switch between magazines and bobbleheads, it'll always be that. But they will not show up in every lobby. So if it's not there, somebody's either grabbed it or it didn't spawn. It's just hop lobbies, and sometimes you'll find them, sometimes you won't. I can say some of these, I've only found one of them in the probably 50 hours I've been making this guide. So it's a hit or miss, but without further ado, let's get on into it. So our first location is going to be Clancy Manor, and it's going to be a magazine in the upstairs bedroom. I don't know what that is, but I guess we'll call it a shelf. And then there's going to be a bobblehead in the same spot, just on the roof. If you don't have marsupial, there's a staircase off to the right you can climb up. Now we're at the Crosshair. One bobblehead here, and it's right beside the armor workbench. Now we're at Aaronholt. Starting off in the middle, come down to the blue building, and there will be a bobblehead right on the corner of the building. In the red building, upstairs in the bedroom, there will be a magazine on the top shelf of this bookcase. Down across the field, in the little shed, you will find a magazine in this enamel bucket. And in the same shed, off to the left, you will find a bobblehead. Now off to Grove's cabin, there's one bobblehead and one magazine here. The bobblehead is on top of the bunk bed in this little building. And the magazine is off to the side of the other building. You won't be able to see it. It's covered by texture. Next up, Darling Sister's Lab. There's one bobblehead here, and you will find it on top of the Airstream. Moving on to WV Lumber, I have found one magazine here, and it is in the first building you see once you spawn in. Now we're going to Tyler County Fairgrounds. There is a lot here. First up, when you spawn in, there'll be a bobblehead on top of the ticket counter or coin counter. And then just off to the side from there, where the porta potties are, you'll find a magazine in the second porta potty. Moving farther into the park, you will find a bobblehead and a cap stash up at the Nuka-Cola statue. Moving on from there, inside the game case beside the one with the ball throw, you'll find a magazine on the bottom shelf. I'm sorry, some of these clips are a little bad. Behind the Nuka-Cola statue, you will find a hay bale fucking shed, and there'll be a magazine in there as well. And off to the left side, you will find a building full of pumpkins, and you will find another bobblehead in there. Moving on to Lady Janet's Ice Cream, you will find one magazine here. It is behind the safe inside the trailer. Now moving on to Deathclaw Island. There will be one bobblehead here, and it will be at the northern tip of the island on top of the bench. Next up is Marigold Pavilion. There'll be a bobblehead and a magazine here. Both of them are on the second floor, basically right beside each other. Next up is Alpine River Cabins. There will be 2 bobbleheads and 1 magazine here. First bobblehead will be in the cabin to the left. It'll be underneath these bunk beds. The next bobblehead is 2 cabins over from this one. Oh, maybe 1 cabin. My bad. It'll be on top of the bunk bed. And then there'll be a treehouse behind the cabins, which will have the magazine in it. Next up, Wixon homestead. There will be 1 bobblehead and 1 magazine. The bobblehead is in the garage on top of this barrel, and you will find the magazine in the house on the 2nd floor. Next up, we're going to the Lighthouse. There will be 2 bobbleheads and 1 magazine. First bobblehead is on the 2nd floor on the desk beside the terminal. The magazine is on the 1st floor on the dining room table. And the 2nd bobblehead will be in the lighthouse itself on the 3rd floor in the windowsill. Next up, we're moving to the agriculture down in Flatwoods. You will find a magazine down in the basement, all the way through by the wet part. There is a bobblehead in the men's urinal. There is a magazine down, bobblehead, my bad. Bobblehead down the way in this fridge. Up on the 2nd floor, we will find a magazine in the room to the left. And then if you go back up the same way and go to the room on the right, you will find a bobblehead. There's also a cap stash in this building as well. Now we're off to Silva homestead. You will find 2 bobbleheads and 1 magazine here. First bobblehead is in the shed behind the house. The 2nd bobblehead is going to be on the 2nd floor of the house. And finally, the magazine will be on the 1st floor. Off to the giant teapot, you will find 2 bobbleheads and 2 magazines here. First bobblehead will be in the red building. 2nd floor up in the bathroom. It'll be a little hard to get because the giant hole in the floor, but you'll figure it out. The magazine will be in the red rocket inside the blue crate. And you will find the other bobblehead also in the red rocket behind the counter. And then from there, head over to the giant teapot itself, and you will find another magazine. Next up, Ohio River Adventures. You will find 1 magazine here. It is in the building on top of some boxes. And finally, for part 1, you will find a magazine at Lewis & Sons. It is in the greenhouse on the counter. Thank you for watching this. I hope it really helped you. I think that was about 20 spawns or so for magazines and bobbleheads. Not even close to anywhere being done for the forest area. Like I said, this is the end of part 1, so we'll start part 2 maybe next week. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe and like. Peace.